Hello there and welcome to Film Attic. Tonight on the show we have Falmouth University's very own Neil Fox here to talk about their film Wildness. We also have some behind the scenes footage of the making of the film. We will also follow our very own crew on their trip down to Fowl Film Fest with an exclusive interview with one of the award winners, Charles Power, and of course our weekly tech review. So now, to kick us off with the show, let's have a look at the behind the scenes of Wilderness.
Seeing my feature film made has been an absolute joy, and just having a really nice set, you know, having people who've never worked on a film like this before, a feature film or a film on this scale, and just kind of coming in and doing really well has been incredibly rewarding. And yeah, we've managed to make a feature as I speak in 11 days. So that's something everyone should be proud of, I think, from every department.
So today is our first day all together. We've got the two lead actors here, and we've got the full crew and the rest of the crew who drove up from Luton yesterday, and then the entire student team as well. So this is the first time we've spent in the space, and we're kind of just working through a big to-do list, really. It's all the gear, all the costumes, and everyone in the space together.
My main ambition is to have a project where you can make a feature film on a micro budget that engages students in the production in a real way, rather than just as production assistants, but really kind of gives them access to a filmmaking project that really gives them experience for life after university.
Welcome back to the show, and as promised, here he is, Neil Fox. So Neil, from the footage, it looks great. What was the inspiration behind the film itself?
The film was well, there's kind of two lots of inspiration. One was the content of the film. I really wanted to write a film which I felt kind of dealt with the same kind of emotional issues as the work of one of my favourite filmmakers, John Cassavetes, who worked a lot in the kind of 60s and 70s. And I find his films really emotionally raw in a way that I think contemporary film isn't. So I wanted to make a film about a relationship which kind of dealt with issues which a lot of people might have, but don't really talk about. So yeah. That was the plan for that. The other inspiration was wanting to make a feature film within the bounds of the School of Film and Television, and make a professional film which had a professional crew, but was also kind of crewed by students who would get a real life kind of experience of working on a film set.
Excellent. So did you have one sort of specific role, or did you fill out a variety of different roles within the production?
Well, being as it was an independent film, I had a number of roles. So I wrote the script, I produced the film, and I was also the educational coordinator. So I was in charge of kind of the teaching project that it was as well. So, which I think is kind of common. I was driving people around, getting props, doing pretty much everything. But then, as an independent filmmaker of sort of 20 years, I'm used to doing whatever's needed and as many things as possible.
Is there sort of, in the time you said about 20 years in the industry, what sort of things are you most into? Is like that was represented in the film?
Well, it's weird, really, because I'm kind of a jack of all trades. My kind of interests are very diverse. My time has been spent kind of as a film critic, as a film festival organizer, as a filmmaker. I've done comedy sketch shows. So kind of never really had a kind of very specific or very narrow field of interest. So I think this was kind of an example of where I want to go next, which is kind of dealing with more serious kind of kind of human stories as I move forward. So.
Excellent. So thanks for talking to us tonight, Neil. But just before you leave us, I think we've got a little bit of a trailer. Should we have a look at that?
Yeah, sure.
Wicked. No, we're going too far. Oh, okay. Cool. 'Cause I think we've got a little bit of a trailer. Should we have a look at that? Yeah, sure. Wicked. No, we're going too far. Oh, okay. Cool. 'Cause I think we've got a little bit of a trailer. Should we have a look at that? Yeah, sure. And welcome to another weekly tech review. Tonight we're going to be looking at the field mixers that we have available up in the studios and comparing the equipment. We have our very own Rich. Hello Rich, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Can you just have a quick sort of chat about what we've got here today?
So what we've got here today are two industry standard field recorders, or field mixers actually. This is the Sound Devices 552 field mixer and the Sound Devices 302 mixer. Okay, they're very similar, both made by a company, as you might have heard, from Sound Devices. Been in the industry for a long time, well revered, and essentially they allow you to, well, to keep it on a layman's term, plug in microphones, mix them and produce a stereo mix.
There we go.
It's basically a mixing desk that you can hang around your neck. The 302 mixer is called the 302 because you can plug in 3 microphones and it has 2 outputs. So as you can see on the front panel here, we have the ability to change the level of these 3 microphones and mix them into a stereo image. The 552 mixer, you can plug in 5 microphones, change the gain of each, pan them left or right in your stereo image.
Oh, yeah. As you can see, they're quite a bit of a difference in size. Does that affect the sort of quality of audio that gets produced, or?
No, well, the audio quality is the same between them, but the difference is the functionality.
So you obviously just get the more microphones plugging in.
Well, exactly. But the 552 is also a recorder, so it's a kind of all-in-one box. You can plug in your microphones and record straight to SD card.
Okay.
It also has 2 outputs, whereas the 302 mixer, you can't record to, so you do actually have to carry a second bag with this.
Okay.
So the 3 inputs, you have 2 outputs to a digital recorder. So it's more logistics involved in this. But then obviously with this one, it's a bit heavier, it's a bit more cumbersome. So they've both got drawbacks and they've both got benefits as well, really.
Excellent. Yep. We've got sort of an all-in-one package. Is that the final stage that we can go to, or is there another one up from that? Or
there is, yeah. There's the 663 as well, which is another mixer that we have access to. And the 663 is quite an advanced. It's only been out for a couple of years, and yeah, 6 inputs, 3 outputs. Well, yeah, it's a very nice bit of kit.
Definitely, they look very nice and a little bit complicated, but I'm sure they're easy to use.
Once you've used them a couple of times, you kind of get it, how they work.
Definitely. As we know, audio is a crucial part of any production and arguably more important than the camera itself. Now, let's take a look at the Found Film Festival that took part in the university last week.
Shadows was nominated for Best Editing, and then it won, which is awesome. As you can see, there was like a real indent, and it was made for the Real Film Challenge 2016, which is a filmmaking challenge that started this year, where you have to get from London to Budapest and make a film as you're going. So they say 10, but it's really 8 days. You have a launch workshop on the 26th of June it was, I think it's the 1st of July this year, and then they're like, go forth and make a film.
As you can see there, it was a great evening at the Found Film Fest. Now, joined us by one of the award winners, Charles Power. Thank you for joining us, Charles.
No worries.
I believe we have a clip from your film, Viewfinder.
Yes, we do.
Do you want to take a look?
Yeah, sure.
Wicked. Now, that was just a small clip from your film.
Yeah.
It features a nice little camera. I think you've actually brought that with you.
Yeah,
Have you got?
this isn't exactly the one we used, but
Oh,
this
okay.
is pretty much an exact replica in a way
Oh, wow.
of the camera. It's made from the 50s.
Is it sort of something you originally were going to use through this film, or?
No, I mean, we were going to make a noir film at the start, but basically I bought this camera out of my own interests, and I looked down and I realised, bloody hell, that's a hell of a view. How can I make a film out of that? And that's pretty much where we started from.
From the footage we saw, it was quite steady how you were holding it. Was there some sort of special rig that you had to make?
Yeah, well, after looking down and realising I should make a film of this, the next question was, how do I get the shot? So we did a little sketch, and it was basically, we built a little rig which built up from plywood, and we just attached the camera on using tape at the start, but then we used screws and made it a bit more professional. But yeah, the shot which you got from there was a real shot, and it wasn't CG by any means.
It definitely came out as very professional.
Yeah.
Your film itself, Viewfinder, it was award-winning.
Yeah.
Were you expecting that at all?
Well, I threw the film in, it was just a bit of a nod of like what could happen, and then it ended up winning 2 awards from the evening. So it was a
Very
nice
successful.
surprise in a way, yeah.
Was there any other places that you entered your film into?
I made a film a couple of months before, so I decided I'd enter it into my local film festival before I came to university, and I managed to win around 4 awards from that evening, so it did very well. I wasn't expecting that either, I guess.
Very happy with what you've created.
Yeah, you could say that.
sure. Have you got anything else lined up in the future?
I'm currently making a new film now, which is coming out. I'm about to shoot it, so I'm looking forward to getting it done. But it's, again, with making this film, there's a lot of blood, sweat and tears that go into it.
Definitely. Are they both with the university as well, or?
This film wasn't made with the university, it was made before I came. But this one, which is coming up, it's being made in the university, yeah.
Excellent. It's been an amazing month for filmmaking in Cornwall, with many film festivals and some top quality films being made. Unfortunately though, that's all we've got time for tonight, and tune in next week for more action.